most arid areas of the world depend entirely on groundwater. And groundwater supplies a large proportion of water we use for drinking, sanitation, food production, and industrial processes. It is also critically important to the healthy function of ecosystems such as wetlands and rivers. And just to quote one of the things that the UN says on their website is, and let me just quote what they say: we must protect them from overexploitation, abstracting more water than is recharged by rain and snow, and the pollution that currently haunts them, since it can lead to the depletion of this resource, extra costs of processing it, and sometimes even preventing its use. Exploring, protecting, and sustainably using groundwater will be central to surviving and adapting to climate change and meeting the needs of the growing population. What they're currently saying is that without groundwater, you have no access to it. But if we bring it back home, if you've moved a bit to the Katangas of this world, Makere, I don't know, down that side, we know that access to clean and safe water is still a struggle.
Is it because of the environment we are living in? And sometimes at that side of, I'm not going to say about the place, that side of Umiega, there was a well that was there. But when they bought the place, the landlord was like, remove all those things. I don't want wells. What? So is it that people are not sensitized enough to know the use of this groundwater? And at some point, I feel like the land is being utilized at a faster rate, that like this groundwater is not utilized, and people are not seeing it's important in one way or the other.
But also the body in Uganda that is meant to at least help us with access to clean water and what is National Water and Sewage Corporation, that is really just meant to, and there is also a ministry on that, Ministry of Water and Ministry of Water is actually there. So one of the things that people have mentioned over and over again is how expensive it is, how national water is very expensive.
The bill?
Yes, the bills, because they charge you for bringing water to you where you are. And so one of the things that people are talking about is how expensive national water really is. And if we can't, and also half of the time, I stay in Zana, I can count the number of times we have had water at home. Most of the time it has gone.
And yet you're living in Kampala.
Yes, I'm living in Kampala. Now I'm imagining.
Now about people who are living
who are living in Mahooro or Amuru,
Sironko,
who don't have these are really dry areas. They don't have rainfall a lot. How about those people? Where do they get water from?
They walk miles and miles to get
very
this
much.
water.
And remember that water is not only for us human beings. We need it for our plants, our animals. People in the north, apart from wrestling cows, the cows need to feed. They need the water to survive. So I think the conversation needs to be had actually of how can we best utilize the water from the ground, because this one is easy.
And it's not expensive.
It is when you're getting it from
some people do not pay for it, right?
Yeah, but you need to dig it from the ground. It doesn't bring itself up, no? You dig, and that takes a lot of money to do it. So
a lot of money.
Yeah, very much.
Yes, Byron. And another thing, you talked about expenses, and sometimes this comes to my mind a lot. Sometimes it really baffles me when the national water, like the pipe just blasts and it spends like 1 full month minus these people coming up. Is it like they're not getting losses? I don't know what is wrong.
So
what could be the problem?
You're the one who pays for that water.
That water that always goes.
Yes. So for them, it's not on them. For them, they count that the water went. Also, your meter goes, and your meter keeps counting. So it's up to you to be on their case until.
But even though you call them, they really come late, and when they come, they always like
I said,
they do not come with the things to work on. They come and just see it, and they're like, okay, let's go back. So what is the reason of you coming?
Like I said, I don't work for National Water and Sewage Corporation. You'll have to ask them that and why they take their time. But one of the other things that I know is our economy really is going to start running on natural resources now because one, we already have the oil coming in, but also Uganda's economy is largely dependent on its stock of environmental and natural resources. Most sectors of the economy, including agriculture, which is Uganda's backbone from when we knew it in primary, rely on environmental and natural resources, goods and services to enhance their productivity, provide necessary raw materials, and reduce the cost of public expenditure for providing the services in those sectors. Now, a rapidly growing population means an increase in the use of these natural resources. And so we need to figure out a way of how do we manage the natural resources that, first of all, natural resources means the natural resources that God has given us. This underground water, how are we even managing it? But also for the people who already have the water, Brenda, how are we managing the water?
I'm sure that some of them have really managed it in a good way, and some of them are not. Yes, some of them who have it have managed it in a good way. I know of places that have managed it in a good way, but how do they manage it in a good way? When the national water comes in, you know these wells that the national water builds for the community. Yeah, they have good pipelines, outlets, stuff like that. That is how some people have managed it in a good way. But you're not going to tell me that other people, their wells are like the way they are, and you think they're going to manage it in a good way. And other places, and like 32%, however much they have good water. They have groundwater. 32% of the population in Uganda, what GMPD means, limited access, meaning that water is likely safe, but it takes over 30 minutes to retrieve it. Can you imagine someone has gone to
30 minutes to retrieve it?
Yeah, to get that water. Like it comes slowly.
Yeah, but when it comes,
it takes like 30 minutes. Can you imagine, Byrom? Let me tell you. Put yourself in that shoes. Of the person who has gone to the well or to the borehole, you've gone to get water, and you're really using that water. Maybe you're cooking food, you're walking miles and miles to get that water. You've gone with that jerry can, and you're putting that jerry can. You're going to spend like over an hour to fetch only one jerry can. How about if you have 10 jerry cans?
Well, that's a conversation we need to have, but also, what can we do about this groundwater? You're saying it takes 30 minutes?
Yes, to retrieve it.
Man, one is also, are we even taking care of it? Like we said, are we taking care of the natural resource that is the groundwater? Now, we must protect groundwater from pollution and use it sustainably, balancing the needs of the people and the planet. Groundwater's vital role in water and sanitation systems, agriculture, industry must be reflected in sustainable development policy making. That even as we deal with this conversation on water, I think one of the things we need to deal about, and what I'm saying is, and what I asked you before is, how do we then protect this natural resource that they have given us? Now, today in the Daily Monitor, there's a cover story of the people in Mahooro district now that have for years and years haven't had access to clean and safe water, and now they do. And even as there is a testimonial here on how they do and how that has impacted their lives and whatnot. So, Brenda, I think the conversation needs to be around, one, how do we, for those of us who have access to clean and safe water, how are we maintaining it or how are we managing it? Because we can easily pollute it. I mean, I see very big old women and old men peeing near boreholes, peeing near the wells, peeing actually in the well. I see young kids in the villages playing in the well. Playing near the well. And doing all this. They shower in the well.
Rubbish in the well.
Very much. I mean, a few years ago, Lake Victoria was one of those places where you go and you're like, okay, I think the water is a bit clean. But now, it's not as clean as it used to be. I mean, people shower from there, wash from there, the same people swim there.
Even other people are building around it. Even others defecate and just throw in the water.
So I mean, we can't say as Uganda, by the way, We can't say that we don't have access to the natural resources, because we do. I mean, we have lakes, we have rivers, we have all these things across the country, but also we have this groundwater that the UN is talking about. And how are we managing it? We are peeing in it, we are the ones swimming in it, we are the ones bathing in it, using, I don't know. We are just not good managers, Brenda.
And others get the rubbish and just throw it inside.
Yes.
But I think it begins with you. Yeah, it begins with you as a person. And another thing, the national water should come up with classes and start teaching people how to use like what could be the effects of you using that safe water badly. What could be the repercussions? Maybe in 30 years, maybe in 5 years. Like when they come and change the mindset of people. Yeah, like the parish model is changing mindset is one of the things. So if the national water maybe could buy that leaf and change mindset of the people, and they tell them that
most definitely,
yeah, when you throw rubbish in Lake Victoria, when you play around the well, when you pee around the well, when you defecate
as
around
if
the
teaching
well,
people how to utilize these resources.
Instead of
if you have a borehole, a well, this is the way you need to even utilize them. I know many NGOs, but also government projects where they have built boreholes for people, wells and whatnot.
Yeah, and organizations.
Yes, I mean, there is a marathon that happens, MTN Kapal Marathon every year, that goes and builds wells for people and whatnot. But for me, it's again, teach people how to use it. I mean, what's this thing?
Borehole.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's called a borehole?
It's called a borehole. Where is it from? Yeah, personally, we grew up in the village. We know all those things.
Okay.
How to. But my friend, overcrowding is the order of the day. Like you take you pump and you feel like you've really done it. But you do not need a gym when you have a borehole.
Exactly. But so you can kill two birds with one stone. That we can have sustainable water from the ground, but also do some push-ups.
We do not want to go to gymnastic. I have some burning food in my place, in my home, and then you want me to do gymnastic, and on top of that, it's going to take like 5 minutes, and it comes like me. I've ever tested those water that comes from the borehole. Sometimes it has minerals. Yes, it has minerals. It comes like when it is yellow, and you're like.
Well, like we said, access to clean, safe water. By the way, did you know that access to water is a human right? According to the UN, it is your right to have access to clean and safe water. Did you know?
But why is it that most villages right now do not have, and some of them have to walk miles and miles to get this water, and when you get it,
yeah.
It is so sad that the same water you're taking, it's where the animals are drinking from, it's where you're seeing someone is defecating from, it is where you're seeing someone is peeing from.
Yeah,
like,
so that's the
what kind of water am I taking?
And it goes back to our conversation of we need to teach people how to behave around water bodies, lakes, rivers, wells. How do we use a borehole? How do you sieve the water and whatnot? But the conversation continues on our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Today is World Water Day, and we celebrate, but also challenge our leaders in terms of what do we need to do better in terms of us accessing clean and safe water for all of us. Do you have clean and safe water? What has been your experience? And we want to hear it from you. What has been your experience in clean and safe water? There is water being clean, but is it safe? No. It might look clean, but remember, there is some Kayan kid that is their toilet where you let the water flow. So, is it safe? Is it fresh? Can we drink it? Can we use it in our farm, for our livestock? Can we give it to our children and our parents? I don't know. It's the conversation we need to have, and we're continuing to have. We need to go in for a break, but when we come back, we continue with the conversation on water, and we'll be reading some of your comments, but also your suggestions on how we can do better as a country in getting clean and safe water to all of us. Do not go anywhere. This is Church of Uganda Family TV.
Do you have a business that you are looking to grow? Advertising with Church of Uganda Family TV is the way to go. We are located on Church House, level 13, along Kampala Road. We offer favorable rates and an extremely creative production team that will work with you to take your business to the next level. To give us a ring, call us on 0781 084215 or 0750 655232. Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives.
Do you know that you can now enjoy great enriching shows anywhere through the Family TV app? Here is how to download it. Open Play Store on your phone. Search for the Family TV app. Click Install. After installing it, open it and enjoy enriching content anywhere, everywhere, anytime. Family TV, enriching lives.
With 200 million people aged between 15 and 24, Africa has the youngest population in the world. This can either be an opportunity or a ticking time bomb. At Young and Flourishing Hub, we seek to turn these numbers into an opportunity for Africa to become a global leader. Join us every Monday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. only on Church of Uganda Family TV as we take you through the discussion of different topics that will enable you to become world-class leaders and mentors, grow your finances, and become world-class innovators. Young and Flourishing, transforming Africa.
As you think about the Lord just taking over your case and you are no longer in the midst of it, and he says, fear not.
Demons from the mountains, scream and leave.
In the name of
Demons from the graves, scream and leave in the name of Jesus.
Welcome to Coffee Production Tips, brought to you by Uganda Coffee Development Authority. Uganda Coffee Development Authority is the government agency mandated to promote and oversee the coffee industry as a whole by developing research, facilitating coffee production and productivity, by training farmers on good agricultural practices, controlling the quality and improving the marketing of coffee for the benefit of stakeholders. planting coffee seedlings, mulching, training coffee seedlings, and stamping coffee. Farmers are encouraged to adopt good agricultural practices to get high yields, good prices, and better income from coffee. These tips are brought to you by Uganda Coffee Development Authority.
Brethren, yes we can. We can clear the debt of church house. And I want to invite you to give generously to the love gift. May God bless you as you give.
The starting point of your surgery, when they say attention and you hold your legs, you have made yourself a soldier.
Then I said, now I know you want me to get saved, so I am going to get saved, but give me time. Can you imagine telling God, if you ask him for something, can you imagine him telling you, give me time?
I praise God that I was condemned. Because if I wasn't condemned by man, then consequently I would have been condemned by God. But because of that human condemnation, that led me to my salvation.
He must be rich, tall, handsome, from a respectable family. He must have a maid because at our home we do not work.
Conductor Masao.
Obadde olobye ku ssimu?
Yamunange anti yo TV enkolera.
Nyumirwa omulembe omupya ogujjudde ebisanyusa omuli emikutu gya TV egisukka mu 8 n'egya radio nga kw'otadde ne zifirimu ng'osinziirira wonna w'oli. Genda mu App Store oteeke app ya UTV channels ku ssimu yo olwo onyumirwa ennaku 3 ng'olabira bwereere ewatali kozesa data.
UTV channels, the power is in your hand.
It's a bit cold outside, but we are here to warm you up every single morning at Morning Glory. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, today is World Water Day, and we are having a conversation on how easy or how hard is it for us to have safe and clean water as Ugandans. Now, just a few facts here that you need to know about some of the things in your body. Now, did you know that 60% of your body is water? And now, according to research done and whatnot, the brain and heart are comprised of 73% water, and the lungs are about 83% water. The skin contains 64% water. Muscles and kidneys are 79% water, and even the bones are watery. 31% of your bones is water. So water is very important. Water, when they say water is life, the person who said it was not a fool. He knew what he was saying.
There is this saying that water is life, you don't live in wise.
Okay.
Nedda, auntie, because of drainage, water clogs into your
Anyway,
house.
point is, water is life. We need it.
The septic, everything really goes into it, and you have to fight for it. You have to fight for your life.
Now, water is a necessity. It's no lie for all living beings, and access to safe water is a basic human right, like we had already said. And despite the world experiencing exponential growth, particularly in areas in science and technology, water still seems to be. I mean, we have the whole metaverse, for example,
for water,
where people can go and own a house online and own land online, but we still suffer with access to water. 40% of the people experience water scarcity, and according to, like you already said, 21 million Ugandans don't have access to clean and safe water.
And the others, 32%, they walk long distances, and others, because of overcrowding, others because of overcrowding of the wells and boreholes, they take like over 1 hour to retrieve this water. And remember, you have other errands to work on. Others walk long distances to get this water. So, and maybe to just give you a hint, why this World Water Day is an annual United Nations Observance Day held on 22nd March. Maybe that the highlights importance of fresh water, like the importance of fresh water, and the day is used to advocate for the sustainable management of freshwater sources. So, I don't know how long have they advocated. Do they advocate even for this fresh water? Yeah, so that could be even another thing that people they do not come up to advocate for this fresh water. That is why we are still experiencing all these things that are going on in the country. 21 million, 32%, they take over 1 hour to retrieve this water. So it's really.
First of all, so many children die every single year in the world, but also in our country. It's no lie. But did you know that 22% of the children in our country, Uganda, that die every single year is because of diarrhea? And well, diarrhea is really a result of bad food, but also bad water. The body is losing a lot of water, and you can't give it more water, right? Because you don't have access to the water. So the children end up really dying. But also
because of diarrhea.
Yes, the water crisis in Uganda also results in 32% of Ugandans having to travel, like Brenda said, having to travel more than 30 minutes to access safe water. And the excess time that people spend on water provision hinders their ability to work, like you were saying, maintain the household, and take care of the children. So you find that that same child, before school in the morning,
they have to go and fetch water.
Go fetch water, come bring it home, then go to school. After school, go fetch your water, because we have used the water during the day. Go fetch the water and come back with it. So it's one of those things, Brenda. But even as we come to the close of World Water Day, what are some of the things, I think for you as Brenda, where you are, the platform you have on your very famous girl on Twitter and TikTok.
She's an influencer.
And whatnot. With the sort of access you have, and I want to bring it as home very much. What are you doing but also and I want you to speak for your other Twitter influencers or whatever. What are you guys doing in terms of advocating for clean and safe water for the public? Or are you vocal enough about it?
To be honest,
do you think
to be honest, I wasn't vocal enough until I realized that, but I'm going to work on it. Until I realized that right now 64% of the country doesn't have access to a toilet that hygienically separates excreta from human contact. And this could be maybe the problem why we do not have safe water here in Uganda. And when you get to realize this, you as a person who is out there, what are you advocating for? What are you doing to, while Lake Victoria right now is contaminated, there is a lot of things. There is a lot of excreta that is going on. People are peeing there, people are throwing rubbish there. So you see even people throw rubbish like anyhow. Like you see someone in Chaksi and just throws a Kavera out, but you do not know the
those
impact
people,
of that.
I am willing to offer free lawyer services for the people who slap those guys. Slap them. When they take you to court,
give them your number, please.
They come to Family TV and they get it. Yeah.
So when you see someone throwing out a water bottle, what do you do? Or you just keep quiet, just be like, it's okay. So these are the things that are going to cause, and you just get out. Maybe when you're in your home, in that apartment that you're living in, just try to drive your car out and go on places like maybe Queensway, Queen's Tower, like Clock Tower, just drive there. Please just drive there and see the problems of those water bottles, the Woveras, that they are clogging the drainage area, and water is not moving on very well. That's why we're experiencing floods in different areas, stuff like that, and we're not getting safe water. And another thing that Uganda has a high mortality rate because of we do not have water, safe water to wash our hands. So we bathe. Sometimes when we wash our hands, we bathe with dirty water. So if we can advocate for safe water, that means that we shall be safe. We're not going to be getting diarrhea, and when we drink that water, it is going to be safe. We're not going to be getting typhoid, and when we wash our foodstuffs, maybe fruits, they will be safe, and they will be safe for eating all those stuff. And our children, like how Byrom say that over 22, every child do not live to see their 50th birthday, and diarrhea disease is a leading cause of death. They do not get to a chance to see their 50th birthday. So if we could get our energy up, if we're using our social media platforms, how do we use them? You can use them to advocate for that. Safe water. And another thing that if you're seeing, and another thing even the national water that they could do is for those places, maybe in Toroko or Mahooro district where they do not have water, because some of them, their water, like the animals drink from their
the same water body is used by very many people and animals.
Let their energy not be only in Kampala. Let them also
it's the plan. It's the plan. Yeah. Because yesterday, actually, the Ministry of Water and Environment had a function really to celebrate, also to as if officiate the World Water Day, and we saw very many people there. The Vice President was there, and a few other dignitaries, and the Vice President was clear on some things, and saying that the water and environment resources go hand in hand and contribute to the economic development of the country. So let us all protect and prioritize them. And this was when she was officially launching the WAKE 2022 that is going to be happening for quite some time. That is the payment for water services for refugees and all these other things. But she was just saying that, guys, let's protect these resources that we have. And also, we had the Mama Mabira, who is the minister in charge of water and environment, saying, you know what, this is all good. And just to quote what Jessica Lupo, the Vice President, said as well, I therefore have no doubts that the outcomes of the 5th Uganda Water and Environment Week will make significant contributions to enabling Uganda achieve the National Development Plan goal and targets. So it's the week where they celebrate water and environment. You can follow them on social media with the hashtag MWEWorks, and find out how you can engage in case you need to engage in the Uganda Water and Environment Week 2022. But for me, my 2 cents and my last cents are: one, do not assume because you have access to clean water, everyone else does. Now that you have access to it, how are you utilizing it? Are you using it well? Because even us who are, we need more sensitization, that's the truth. Even us who claim that we went to school, we don't know how to use water, we don't know what clean water is, we randomly drink from the tap. Man, we just need more sensitization, Brenda. I'll tell you for free. But again, let us know what you think on our social media platforms. On this World Water Day, what can we do better to have clean and safe water to the smallest of people, to your grandmother there in the village, in Toroko, or in Koboko, or in Kanungu there, in one of those places. Do they have access to clean and safe water? What are we doing about it? But also my challenge is to the government of Uganda. I know currently we are going through a lot of things. I mean, prices of commodities are high. We don't have a speaker of parliament. We don't have a governor. It seems like everyone is busy and whatnot. But let's take some time off and remember that, hey, even when we are dealing with life, there are people who are actually struggling for their life because they don't have access to clean and safe water. And what are we doing to make sure that they have access to these things? I know roads are good. The president keeps telling us to, he has, you can move from Karungu to Gulu on tarmac only. It is actually. It is. He has done very well. But what I'm saying is that even for that, how can we then also make sure that from Kanungu or from Kabale to Gulu there is access to clean and safe water in all those places, that wherever I go or whatever community I go to, I have access to this clean and safe water.
And others who have to walk miles and miles, really that baffles me. Like, there are three villages and they only have one borehole. So just imagine that kind of.
But also the MPs of that place, what are you doing apart from?
Apart from what?
Leave me alone.
They should get off in office and then they advocate for all these things.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we want a good life. And maybe another thing that is causing high prices. Wouldn't it be like people to get this irrigation water? It is expensive because was it in Mahooro, Toroko district, where a jerry can of water costs like 1,000. Now remember someone who is living in the village. A jerry can of water costs like 1,000. Remember, a bar of soap is 10,000. So,
growing up, I used to buy a jerry can of water 200 shillings, 300.
But right now it is.
But now it's 1K. Anyway, let us know what you think on our social media platforms, and also if you haven't yet downloaded our app, you need to just go over to your Play Store and type in Family TV and download the app. We need to close this, but thank you so much for staying with us. For those who stayed with us since 6:45 a.m. till now, we thank you, and we'll see you again tomorrow, same time, 7 a.m. here at Church of Uganda Family TV. Have a lovely day. Uganda, thank you so much for waking up with us.
Good morning, our people. Let me hope you've woken up this morning.
Follow us on our social media platforms. That is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. That is at Church of Uganda Family TV. That is COU Family TV on all our social media platforms with the hashtag Morning Glory.
Do you know that you can now enjoy great enriching shows anywhere through the Family TV app? Here is how to download it. Open Play Store on your phone. Search for the Family TV app. Click Install. After installing it, open it and enjoy enriching content anywhere, everywhere, anytime. Family TV, enriching lives.